Hello, and welcome back to the channel, and welcome to another My Thoughts on. So this is Widget Inc. This is a game that currently is in beta. There's a demo on Steam. There'll be a link down in the description so you can go do that. The game releases October 31st, so in 5 days, and it's going to be $5. The game is awesome. That's it. If that's all, if you want the too long didn't read, the game's awesome. Go download the demo, play it. That's it. It's a clicker game. It's a factory game. It's a incremental game. It's and it's amazing. I have 200 hours into a $5 game. Now that being said, I enjoy clicker games. I enjoy incremental games. I enjoy watching factories kind of build themselves. And I enjoy Factorio and Satisfactory and games like that. Mindustry, Factorio. If any of those games are on your wish list or you've played them and you want a little bit something like that, you want something that's a little bit more chill, like this is it. This is chill Factorio, and it just the game is a little bit different. Like, so the big differences are, if you look at Factorio, like I would have to go put over here, like I have rocks, right? So I'd have to go put like I would let's go back down here. Let's see. And if you go into the demo, you're only gonna be able to get to tier 3. I'm up to tier 7 right now. I can actually beat the game. I've already prestiged once. And but the demo only lets you go to tier 3. Once the full game comes out, you'll have access. So I can just place that down and it'll build that eventually. Oh, it's because I that it takes me a little bit to do it, because as you build more stuff, it gets incrementally more expensive to build things. They get spendy. And then, so once I do that, then I can just build me one of these guys. And then I build me one of these guys, right? And then this is my first kind of production, right? So I take an iron mine and then I put that into the iron smelter, and the iron smelter turns it into a iron. Let's see, let me go over here and look at somewhere over here where I have one. So this turns it into smelt it, so it turns iron ore into iron ingot. Easy enough, right? And then I take the iron ingots, I put the iron ingots in here, and I turn them into basic widgets, right? And then, so that kind of goes there. So I come up here, I go those. Then the next one I have is I sand into glass. I put those into a gyroscope fabricator, and then I basically make a widget spinner, right? It's a fidget spinner, right? And then the next level is, oil to electrical to battery assembler and to a capacitor bank, right? And what you're doing is you're building all this stuff in the bottom, and it slowly takes up and goes up and up and up until you keep building bigger and bigger things, and then you can just keep building frames. Now, there's no belts, there's no trains, there's no bots, all that stuff. Everything just gets produced, gets dropped into the ether, into your storage facilities, and then you get pulled out to wherever you need it. So there's no interconnections. There's no trying to figure out how to, make sure your factory lines are doing, and trying to belts and inserters. And if you don't like that stuff about Factorio, please come check this game out. $5 on the 31st. You can go get the demo right now. It's down in the description. Like, the game is amazing. And as you kind of go up like, you'll see, like, I have different things here open, right? So if I go up here and look at like this, chain lightning, adjacent productivity, 20% adjacent, exactly 2 other Tesla coils, but no other frames, right? So like, as soon as I select this guy, right, and then I do the research or put the points into it, then the Tesla coils down here they get this sort of setting. Or actually, I have 2 others, so I actually need to set it up where it's like bounced like this, right? So then you just kind of grab them and move them, and I can just grab them and move them like this, right? So it needs to be exactly 2 other ones. So I just literally grab them, and then I can do this, and then once I get that done, and we get the stuff added, then magically all of a sudden this thing takes on a life of its own, and it starts working. I think I could just make a row of them. Yeah, I could probably just make a row of those. Yeah, because exactly two others. So if I just made a straight line, it wouldn't be as pretty, but you could just do a straight line, right? So there's a lot of different ways to do these things. Right, I can do this and do that, and it completes all of them. So now they're all connected. And the only reason to do that is so the ones on the ends also have the bonus, right? But you can just build more. Like you don't have to do those that stuff. It does make it a little bit better, but it doesn't make it where you have to do it, right? The game gives you a lot of options as to whether or not you want to do things. It's like, hey, if you do this, it does give you a bonus, but if you don't, it still makes stuff. It just depends on how you want to do things. And the map is procedurally generated. It slowly opens. You can go find it. Like all these, like that's a city, and then that's ruins, and like all that stuff it becomes important later because there's certain things that need to be placed on cities, other things that need to be placed on sand or prairies, or I don't think anything needs to be placed on grassland. Um, but you can get all these different things. All the tiles need something. You don't place anything on water; you place it next to the water. Things like that. So there's a bunch of if-then statements, and the game is really really well done. And if you are, like I said, at all remotely interested in anything, um, clicker games, factory games, anything like that, and you're not put off by the aesthetic of the game, like please just go check out the game. Just go wishlist the game. Let the dev know he's done good. And then basically he said that depending on how the game sells is whether or not he continues on and adds more stuff to it. And I think this may be a sleeper. I think it may be a little bit hidden bit below Factorio. Um, but I think when the game comes out, it's going to be awesome. It's going to be amazing. It's already awesome and amazing. It's just going to get better and better. But as we go through here, I wish I was further along into the next prestige to show you more things where you get rockets and stuff, and you build things to basically get extra points. So every time you prestige, it basically gives you another 100% of the items you build. So now every time I build something, instead of it building one, it builds two. Obviously, prestiging several times, probably not a bad plan, and probably one that I'm going to be working on once I get back up there until I have a lot of them. But right now we're just slowly working on these. So this guy needs mainframe widgets. So these guys are just slowly being slowed. I think it's this one being built right now. Yeah, so it's building that. So I'm missing the green circuits here. So if I click on this microprocessor, I can go process thoughts like this, and then I can do this. And then you look and it says not enough. So now it's the thinking cores. The thinking cores are missing red and computational widgets. So you can click on something like this and just go like, okay, you can't click on that one, but I can click on it and go figure out why something is or isn't making sense. The other thing you're doing, and probably what's honestly going on, is these things right here are the computational widgets, or these are causing me problems because I was being silly and I made these things, and I was just kind of being silly. But it was kind of it's how you copy. There's blueprinting, there's copy pasting, there's I'm gonna get rid of all this stuff because I don't like it. It was a failed experiment. All right, so that should, and you do get some replacement of that stuff back. So now these things should be placing. Still not enough. Now if I want to do this for a second, I can go pause, and it will kind of pause everything that I'm building, and then I can go over here to my storage, kind of see where everything is. and see where, like, let this thing start to slowly build up and start getting a backlog kind of built. What's happening is I think everything's going to this mainframe widget instead of here. I don't build in tiers like I should. I build in brute force attack. I build enough things that I build everything. And then so we just do that. I'll pause for a second and you'll see it builds a lot of stuff. And then we're going to start building things again quickly. So sometimes if you pause it like that for a second and then unpause it, it'll do that. I can also go down here like this thing and go, oh, I want you to go first. And then I can hit that and it moves them all the way to the top. And then obviously I can't build that one because I need this thing to be built first. So as soon as all this stuff gets built and the thing below it gets built, then it'll build that first. I can close this and open it again. Right. And then so basically what I'm going to do is I get all these things built. That guy's built. That one's built. So then so you'll see him building up fairly quickly. And then once we get all those things built, it will fill up our inventory again. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the next section. All right, so those things are built. Now everything I wanted built is built. I can go down here to technology 7. And that's just going to need basically 2,000 mainframe widgets. So what you're trying to do is you're trying to build up enough widgets and trying to balance how fast you're building things with how quickly you need them built. And then going back and upgrading things like this down here, right? So a lot of these things are probably able to be just automatically built because they don't even need, that one needs mainframe widgets, right? So, but there it's done. And so I can go through, do this. We can do these. I'm getting some achievements. So the dev is working on the game in the background, trying to get stuff ready for the Steam launch on October 31st for $5. Sorry. I'm amazed that this game is going to be $5. I've got 200 hours into it almost. And the game's going to be $5. Like it just baffles me that it's going to be $5. So I built up way too much stuff again. And then it's slowly, and then as you'll see, as I'm building stuff, these things are all starting to, these little yellow, construction signs or explanation points there. And what will happen is I have a thing running in the background, which is this auto upgrade, and it remembers like the order everything was built, and then it basically goes through it and upgrades them in the order that they were built. And then so it just slowly does everything, like even all these guys. So these are, I need to upgrade, so plus 20% or plus more storage here. So these things will all be getting upgraded eventually, and it just slowly keeps it. It's just this slow upgrade process where you're constantly working on things and constantly trying to get it done. And then like if I want this stuff here, so you'll see these guys are being added and then basically completed because I have the resources saved up. So basically, as soon as it's added, it just auto corrects it. So that makes my life a little bit easier there. Factory must grow, right? So I probably want to get that thing up there as soon as I can. So that thing, because the factory must grow, every time you do that, it basically it reduces the exponential cost increases of building frames, right? So when I go to try to build the next building frame, now the only problem with that is in the previous builds, I haven't checked it here recently, but as you build those, if you have something already built, that cost is set. You'd have to pick it up and replace it to get that, to be able to get it to change the amount that you need to be able to put into it. But like I said, the game is awesome. I'm rambling and I'm sorry. I'm trying not to be like, oh, this is the best game ever. The game's got some issues, right? Like it's got some things I prefer it did, I'd like to be able to pick up. I'd like to be able to rotate stuff. I'd like to be able to clone things. I'd like to be able to flip it the other side. I'd like to be a little bit more fun with blueprints, because that way I can make a design that's more, aesthetically pleasing. So that there are some things that I kind of wish the game did better. But everything being said and being equal, the game is amazing. It is really well done. I can't give this game high enough praise. It's not, I can't. My final words are going to be, if you like Factorio, if you like clicker games, if you like, or it doesn't have to be both. But if you like Factorio and you're not sure about clicker games, go check this game out. If you love clicker games, go check this game out. Incremental games, it's an awesome game. Like it's not a good clicker factory game. It's a good clicker game. It's a good incremental game, and it's a good factory game. Those are 3 individual categories, and it's good at all 3 of them. Now, there are some issues. There are some, it's kind of, 2D. There's, stuff here. It's not, it's not a very deep game, but it is a very deep game. Because like the actual individual things aren't very deep, but as you start building massive factories and taking over stuff and prestiging and getting rockets and stuff like that, you can get quite a bit of depth to the game, but the individual pieces of it aren't very, very in depth, if that makes sense. But with that, like I said, if you like those type of games, being the clicker, incremental, or the factory, like Factorio type, Mindustry, those type of games, this is a must try. It's a demo. Go play the demo. You can get 2 hours out of the demo. Like just please just go do it. Wishlist the game. Give the dev some love. And then, like I said, October 31st. As always, if y'all like these videos, you want to see more of them, please consider throwing a like on it. If you have a question, a comment, or concern, you can leave that down below. And if you're not subscribed and you'd like to see more of this or anything else that I'm doing, please make sure you hit that button while you're down there. Y'all be safe. Talk to y'all soon. Bye.